I think that fast food chains have become the antithesis of the oversaturation of the American dream. I love fast food, but I think it's created a problem in the mindset of generations of Americans. Just these little things that I notice Americans do. I notice these little going through the motions of the day feel like going to get fast food. Like everything has to be super, super, super quick and just get it the fuck done right away. And it has to do with just this whole idea of almost like selfishness and entitlement and being like overindulgent. I think like fast food chains have like caused damage to the American psyche. And you know, it starts when you're young, and then when you get older, it's like your habits that no one taught you were wrong, they like grow and now they've become part of you. And I just noticed that it just really pisses me off when I see like, okay, like fast food chains are what they are. You go in there, you pay some money, quickly, you get some grub, you in, you out, bing bang boom. Moving on. But what I get really pissed off at is when I see Americans acting like that mentality when they're doing everything during the day all the time. They act like every task that they're doing needs to be as quick as getting fast food. And I just get really angry at just shit during the day where everyone's driving around and, you know, people like the average American is slow, lazy, impatient, and rude. And it fucking really, really pisses me off. Literally any other job, if it's not fast food, there'll be people that will treat it like it's fast food, like whatever thing they asked of you, they want it right away, man. Right the fuck away. Like when someone asks you a question, like whatever job you have, say you work in a bank, a supermarket, Target, I don't know, hospital, people always like, I want my answer now. Right now. And they're not like patient enough. I mean, there are some people that are patient, but well, even when they're patient, they're still not that patient. They're still very high-strung and annoying. And I hate it. Like I hate where I work that when people ask me questions, they're always just, again, slow, rude, annoying. And the whole thing with fast food is, another thing about fast food is that it's quick grub. You know, it's quick food, and people want it like right away. They like every time they go get fast food, they want it yesterday, you know? And I know that's the function of fast food. That's what it is. But then people get surprised when the food isn't that good. When you get a batch of food and it's not what you wanted it, it's fast food. Of course it's not going to be like those damn pictures. It should be, because that's what they advertise, but the way how quick it is and what the way that it is, the food you get is not going to be like those photographs and on those commercials and everything. I mean, there's no way it can be. So people get surprised by that, which is weird. Kind of stupid in my opinion. I mean, fast food has... Okay, so that's one aspect of America that I just ranted about. But I have another rant. Sports. I fucking hate sports, but I like a little bit of football, but that's really about it. And I love wrestling. But I just hate all the regular sports. Baseball, hockey, basketball. Hate that shit. But look, I mean, this isn't about my hatred for sports and how boring I think it is. I'm clearly in the minority. Like, massive amounts of people fucking love sports. It's fine. My problem with the popularity of sports in America, though, is that people are so obsessed with sports that then they think everything in life is a competition because of them watching sports all the fucking time. They think everything else is just like sports. You know those stupid signs you see that they sell in the stores that say life is just like basketball, but life is just about basketball and everything else is just in between games. Signs like that, that's bullshit. It's fine if you like the sign and if you think it's like a little funny and kind of cutesy or whatever. But the problem with the sign is that there's people that take that and consider it a true mentality. And when you do that, then you start comparing people with other people. Oh, well, you're not doing this better than this person. You got to do this better than that person. You got to do that better than this person. You got to make more money than this person. You got to make the same amount of money as this person. Why aren't you making more money? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? That person's doing that. Did you know that person's doing that? Everyone in America is brainwashed and conditioned to treat everything like a contest, like a competition, because all the damn sports, it's just too much. And I understand in sports, like, it makes sense that one team is supposed to win and one team isn't. But I thought it was about the love of the game, though. I think it's become less of the love of the game, though. What about that? But it's like the way people feel about sports being a competition and everything is just black and white. My team versus your team, and that's it. Motherfucker. People take that mentality and use it and apply it to politics. Yeah, in the United States, they apply it to politics. Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative. It's just like, oh, of course, it's just like the sports games I watch on TV, right? It's either my way or the highway, one way or the other. Don't like it, get the fuck out. It's just no. I think life is about a balance of ideas. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I like little ideas from both sides, but I think both sides are really stupid for the most part. Both sides really piss me off because they have zero interest in working together anymore, like in tandem. And we used to have that in this country. Somewhat, we did. For a while. I would say, like, in the old days we used to have it. But ever since, I'd say, ever since the 2000s happened and onward, people have just became way too cutthroat about politics. People just don't want to work together. They just want to say they're 100% right about everything and then just ram it down that other person's throat and then make that other person feel like an idiot. It's just too much. It's just too volatile. I mean, a presidential election is not the Super Bowl. It's not a sports game. It's an intellectual thing. It's not a bunch of guys kicking a ball around and scoring a bunch of goals and running around. It's not that. It's actually important, and sports games aren't. Anyway, that's me being biased. I mean, sports games are important to those who think it's important. And that's kind of another thing I'd like to mention, is that, and this is really unrelated to the other two things I said, but I do think it's interesting, is that in life, don't let anyone tell you something isn't important. Because you hear people say that stuff all the time, and I know I just said that, but I was kidding around. Anything is important, as long as you make it important. Just remember that basically, you could argue that nothing is important. Oh, well, I have to go to the dentist. Well, if I don't want to go, it's not important. Oh, like, say, everything is only important only if you make it important. If I have to buy this, if I have to buy that, even if it's for your survival. If you don't care about fixing your house, fixing your car, whatever, if you don't care, it's not important. It's only important if you make it important. Like when people watch a show that's coming on, or buying tickets to see a movie, or getting the newest video game or whatever, or a CD or whatever the fuck it is, none of that shit is actually important. I mean, it's only important if you say it's important. But at the end of the day, it's like, that's the thing about life that people don't understand, is that you're supposed to take your time to decide what's important, instead of just constantly giving into peer pressure from everywhere you look. Everywhere you look, you're told this is supposed to be important and this isn't. This is supposed to be important and that is not. That is not actually true. That's like some conditioning that society like jams down your throat when you're like a young kid, and we've been brainwashed. That's like shit like your school teacher would say to you when you're playing a video game in class, and she's like, well, that's not important. Math is important. Me playing that game in class, that's important to me. It's not important to her teaching math. Math is important to her because she became a math teacher, so she loves math. It's like people never really think about this important thing I'm talking about. Just next time, if you're if you have something, quote unquote adult to do, and you're sitting around and you're playing a video game or reading comics or whatever, instead of doing that, you know, quote unquote adult thing, if someone tells you, well, that's not important right now, well, okay, that's fine that it's not important now, but don't let that person convince you or tell you that that thing you're doing isn't important at all. You reassure them, hey motherfucker, me reading my comic book right now, me reading my comics is important because it represents me. Playing video games to me is important. Just like you watching your sports games, or you reading your books, or you going to dance class, or you going to, I don't know, a concert. Everyone has their own things that they think is important. I still reminisce about the golden years of fast food chains. I mean, they're still extremely popular, right? I just mean like the old days where they used to have toys at McDonald's for every movie that came out, and Burger King and all that, and the furniture inside each of the restaurants looked different and all that, and the food was tastier or whatever, and being a kid and all that, and people, like, people still reminisce about that. And I think that's cool. And that was a golden age, man. All those commercials, and that stuff was like in the 90s and the 2000s, right? But we have overlooked the damage, though, the secret damage it has done to the American psyche, the fast food chains. Like, fast food really isn't good for you. I mean, the food has like toxins in it, and it's poison for you, you know, and I think it I think it probably adds to causing cancer, just shit like that. And again, the mentality. When I order fast food, I order it, right. I'm sitting in my car and I wait on purpose before I get to the window. I wait a little bit. I wait like 2 or 3 minutes, and I slowly make my way to the window. And then I'm very cordial, and they're like, thank you, and they give me my food, right? Because I want them to take their time a little bit more, so that my food tastes a little bit better than everyone else's food. Because everyone else was an impatient asshole and just decided to dart through, and they're like, I want my food! Here you go. Bye. It's like I want it to be better. So that's my little strategy, which is humorous, but who knows? Maybe it's worked sometimes, maybe it hasn't. But maybe it's silly of me, but and another bad mentality caused by fast food is that it's given people the mentality of just get it done right now. Whatever the problem is, get it done right away. Get the food right away. Do this right away. Do that right away. Everything has to be right away. This is why Americans are impatient. I mean, really, the West doesn't have to necessarily be the United States, but this is why everything is hustle and bustle. Quick, 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 quick. Because of shit like fast food chains. And it isn't just fast food. There's all these little things that we grow up in America that you don't realize that it's causing these, like, mental effects on people as they grow up. It's affecting them because people do this shit every day, man. People eat fast food and watch sports every day, right? And I mean, all this other stuff too. So, I mean, my advice pretty much is that it's not silly to be an American, but try to be a patient American and take your time to enjoy things instead of rushing through life and being too quick with everything you do. Because people that feel that way always say shit like, oh, life is going too fast. Life is going too fast. Well, yeah, it's going too fast for you because you make it fast. You're not taking your time to indulge or enjoy yourself. You're doing everything too quickly. That's the problem. Like, I love my life, and I take time with my stuff. But I'm also brisk when it comes to creating my art because, I'm getting older and it's like I got a lot of stuff I want to do. And so it's a balance. Everything's not just do everything quickly and then that's it. No, because then you get mediocre products, right? Then you got impatient people, then you got angry people, then you got people being rude, then you water down the products, then you're teaching the young kids the wrong ideas. I just think this is some conscious idea. I just think this is an idea that Americans should be conscious of and try to combat it. And just, take a time during your day, sit in your car, breathe in, breathe out, and just give yourself a moment of zen. Look at the trees and stuff, just think. Not everything has to be like lickety split. Anyway, that's my little rant about American society. I hope I didn't offend anyone who loves sports or fast food. I'm just trying to make a point in this video about something that really irks me about American society, and let me know if you disagree with me or if you agree with me or not. Anyway, my name is SuperPat98. Thank you all for watching. Peace.